What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierphone Orbital. So today I'd like to do a quick demo on a Starfall Legacy. This is a scrap flex-ish hilt that was a run done by Nick over at Starfall a little while ago. I think it was almost a year ago, I think. No, maybe earlier in the year is when this run dropped. So this is the same chassis that I've done for this hilt. I do want to come into Fusion and talk about the chassis a little bit. I think it's been a while since I've done that for this particular chassis. And then obviously we will do a demo. Then we'll put a blade in it. And then we'll be on our way. I'll let you go. I'm not going to keep you for too long, right? So anyhow, let's come into Fusion and talk about this chassis. Okay, so here it is. This is the chassis that I've designed for the Starfall Legacy. Nice and easy. Nice and simple, greebly heavy chassis. So let's start at the bottom, shall we? 28mm fully enclosed speaker. We also have a giant vent for 2020 Neopixel Strip. If you are wanting to signal large aircraft from space, this is how you would do it, right? With this 2020 Neopixel Strip. Along the back, or spine, of the chassis, if you will, there is a Proffie tray. This is where the Proffie board sits. You can access the USB port and SD card slot from within the chassis, or you can kind of slide down that Proffie board tray, or Proffie board rather, and kind of tilt it up if need be. I like to use a 90-degree USB connector. That is how I design my chassis. I design them around the idea of using a 90-degree USB connector. That way you don't have to fiddle fuck around with your Proffie board and kind of take it out and put it back in. You just kind of use a 90-degree USB connector and just kind of pop it in, pop it out if you want to. Some more greebly work around the spine of the chassis. Let's take a mosey around the other side of the chassis here. Here are some other greeblies. Massive amounts of greeblies. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. There are just massive amounts of greeblies on this chassis. There is just plenty of room on the inside of this grip. So I just put greeblies from my library all over this thing. I mean, it's just too much. There's just too much going on here. Some ridges, holes, if you will, along the battery tray. Some tube work along the kill switch here as well. Making our way up, we do have, I don't know what you would call this, maybe a post, large, long nipple. I did this because if I did this entire chassis all in one piece, it would not fit in my printer. So I designed this chassis when I still was mainly a resin printing workshop. I have since moved a little bit into the FDM world. So this would have been way too tall to fit on my resin printer. So I split this up into two parts. So I could print the bottom. Obviously I could print the bottom in resin, and then obviously this part would have also been in resin, and then I glue the two together. Okay. That's still how I do it. I still print this in resin because it's so greebly heavy. Okay. I love the amount of detail that I get in resin with these kinds of parts. So that is why they're in two parts. Okay. There is a channel along the midsection of this upper part, or this upper post, for another Neopixel strip. There are some cleverly designed vents in the waist section of this hilt, so we can get some shine through, right? So that is what that Neopixel strip is for, okay? So essentially, the entire, both of these parts are printed off, and then they're just glued together, or epoxied together, rather, right? And then this entire thing is slid up into the inside of the hilt. The upper part of the hilt, so the grip is massive, right? And then the upper part of the hilt is a little bit thinner. A lot thinner, right? And also there's a window here for our switch leads. Okay, PCB emitter is up top, and that's it. And that was the journey of the chassis. So let's come up top. Okay, so here it is. This is the Starfall Legacy. I mean, to me it looks like a Scrapflex variant, right? Good looking hilt, knurled grip. What more can you ask for, right? So, fully modular, unthreadable pommel, unthreadable grip, a lot of parts, really nice hilt. So let's talk about how to use this guy. To get at your chassis, not static chassis, but it's static chassis. It stays in place. It's not removable, right? So to get at your chassis, you want to unthread your grip. Here is the chassis. So I did a pass of pewter rub and buff on this. I did paint some of the accents just underneath that Proffie board. Okay, there's our 2020 Neopixel Strip. Battery tray, greeblies, 28mm speaker, and that is it. In front of that 2020 Neopixel Strip, I do put a strip of Mylar just to help it diffuse a little bit. Okay, and that's it. So to use this guy, spring side is your negative. Take the flat part of your battery, put it down towards that speaker, hit your kill switch. There is that 2020 Neopixel Strip. There is that other animated strip on the inside of that waist section. We do get some shine through in that red eye in the back there. I like that. Okay. I did switch up the animation for each font on that Neopixel accent strip. Okay. So once you get your battery in and you're ready to go, another thing that I always appreciate about this hilt when I do installs on them, Nick did design or incorporate some set screws on the inner part of this hilt for the chassis, and they are all evenly placed. There are 3 of them. Nice, big. These are either 832 or M4 set screws. I really, really appreciate design cues like that. They help us installers out a great deal. I really, really appreciate that. So once you get your battery in and you're on and you're ready to go. Okay. So let's come down to the bottom. All right. So there it is. There are those 2020 Neopixel strips, accents through that waist. I really like that design feature of this hilt. And then we've got a lit red button back there, or red glass eye. It does ship with a nice blade plug as well. What else we put on here?
What is it? Father's light saber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Right. Let's put a blade in it. I just so happen to have one right here prepared. So this, like I said, this does ship with a blade plug. So that glass eye in the back does serve as your blade retention. So take that blade plug out. I think, no, so this, the knurled thumb screw in the front does not serve as your blade retention. So take that, or unthread that knurled red glass eye, rest your blade on those PCB pins, and then tighten it, and you're ready to go. See what else we put on here.
I am no Jedi.
So there's that waist section animation in there. see if I can get it to.
I'm Cal Kestis.
One more.
I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
So this has also been set up with color wheel or color change. To access color wheel, you want to hold down aux and tap main. When you hear that audible cue, rotate your hilt until you find a color that you like. When you find a color you like, tap main again. And you'll lock that color in place. Okay? And that's it. So that is the Legacy from Starfall Sabers. Just a really great production run scrap flex variant. Great hilt, right? So anyhow, to the customer, thank you very much for your patience. I will be getting this in the mail. We're coming close to the holiday, like 4th of July holiday. So I will be getting this in the mail before I go on vacation. So thank you very much for your patience. If anyone has any questions about this particular chassis, I believe this is on my online chassis index. So if anyone needs it, it is there. If anyone has any questions about this install, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.